out as I come. Busting in your line, cracking helmets in. I bring the pain, so what you gon' do? Stand there and just get shook out ya. So clean out your locker, I'm out to get ya. Cause I just popped ya. You can't take the pressure. You might as well quit cause you just can't last. Mad at 2000, put your face in the crack.
Austin Safarian-Jenkins, the first touchdown of Jameis Winston's career.
And your pride in the dirt, so put on a skirt. If you come on the field and don't wanna get hurt, just bruise and beaten, all black and blue. And it's been like that since Madden 92.
So,
alright, we're good.
So welcome back everybody to BBSN with your host, Mr. Buccaneer Blake himself. It's Wednesday, you know the picks are supposed to be coming in, and as always, you know how I do. I bring in a radio guest all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, a man named Sam Watkins. He played at Clemson with Eagles fan favorite Brian Dawkins. Played at Wesley. They said he was an old ex-teammate of mine. So, you know, he's got a lot of football knowledge. So you're going to hear from him in a minute. Oh, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I want to make sure to get that in. I thought it was cool at the Bucs game when they gave all the breast cancer survivors and all that. I always think that's cool stuff, and everybody's got their own stories. And I think a lot of people undermine stuff like that happens because, you know, it doesn't happen. That people don't think because it doesn't happen directly to them. They don't really pay attention to it. So, yeah, I really appreciate that. You know, like when you go to the games and they have breast cancer awareness survivors and everybody gives their little stories on it, because a lot of people, you have no idea the stuff that they've dealt with themselves personally or through their lives, through people that they love and they care about. So I wanted to make sure I got that out the way, give a breast cancer awareness shout out. I got Sam on the line now. Sam, you there?
Yeah, bro. What's good?
Not much, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, you know, I'm loving life.
How's the weather up there in Charlotte?
It looked real nice outside. I ain't been outside. I chose to work from home today because my boss ain't at the job. So I said, the hell with it. I'm gonna work from home too.
That's right.
And I ain't been outside. So, but it's bright and sunny. That's the one thing I can say.
Sounds like a good day.
I still gotta get the work done. That's the only issue.
Good. Well, good. Your time is valuable. I ain't gonna waste it. I know we got a little bit of time with you, so I got a couple points we're gonna come across here, and we're just gonna go from there. So, as always, I don't always pick up people that are Buccaneers fans because that's what I'm here for. I give my insight. He's a Chicago Bear fan, and we all know what's all going on in Chicago. So, Sam, why don't you give me your overview of the team? What's going on?
What I'm going to say about the team is this. I think they did a great job with the hiring of John Fox, and I think he did an outstanding job with the assistant coaches as well, the DC, the OC, and so on. One thing, though, what people really need to look at when they look at sports is, I'm trying to think of the quickest way to say this, but I'll be long-winded, to hell with it. When someone comes in, they can't just take over and say, okay, this is their team. Chip Kelly, he got rid of a bunch of people in Philly. You know what I'm saying? And he's building his team. Lovey down there, you know, Lovey has a certain way of running his team. He has a way of winning. That's the team that he's trying to build down there, I think. So John Fox, he's a defensive-minded coach. He's been to the Super Bowl with 3 different teams. And unfortunately, he didn't win his last one because he was on an offensive-dominated team. I believe what he's doing is he's building his team with Vic, Fangio. This was the first week that they actually played the 3-4. They just got rid of, 69 from Kansas City.
You're talking about Jared Allen.
Yeah, Jared Allen. And that's how damn old I am. I'm still looking at him from Kansas City instead of Minnesota. But anyway, to make a move like that, Jared Allen actually came here to Charlotte, and they're excited to have him here, and he's doing well here. He's fitting into the system and everything. We just didn't have that system for him. But being long-winded, what I'm really trying to say is this: Chicago they're rebuilding. And I looked at them, when I first looked at the schedule, I said, look, we'll go 4-12 this year. And that's what I tried to tell my baby brother and my dad. Because, I'm just an honest, truthful fan. I ain't trying to say we're going to win the Super Bowl or nothing. But deep down in my heart, I believe in 2 to 3 years we will be in the Super Bowl, because that's the repertoire that comes with John Fox. Offensively, the Bears made a very big mistake, in my opinion, by re-signing Jay Cutler and giving him all that money.
Letting Brandon Marshall go? And letting Brandon Marshall go? I thought that was a bad move.
Yeah, I thought that was an extremely bad move. Now, here's where I get it from. I'm looking at it from the view of, if you get rid of Cutler and you bring in another starter, maybe a good backup as well. Mike Vick, he's a good backup. A lot of people don't understand what's going on in Pittsburgh with him, but the real deal there is Pittsburgh has a very complicated system. They're not letting Mike Vick be Mike Vick, But if the Bears would have got rid of Cutler, a couple years ago he was hurt. What's his name stepped in and did a great job.
Luke McCown?
And everything ran, McCown. And everything went better, actually, for those 3 or 4 games that he was in there. So my point is, you get rid of Cutler, things run fine. If you get rid of Forte, everything is going down the drain. If you get rid of Brandon Marshall, you see what's happening. We don't have any receivers. Now, granted, most teams suffer injuries, but I mean, come on. Every receiver we had was injured so far this year, and Brandon Marshall is having a great year for the Jets right now. You know what I mean?
And I want to throw that in there too before you get off of Brandon Marshall. I've said this plenty of times. You'll probably agree with me because you got pretty good insight of sports. When it's all said and done, Brandon Marshall will be known as one of the greatest receivers in NFL history.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
I say nobody pays him any attention because he plays on garbage teams. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's had 1,000 yards receiving, no matter who's on the other side of the ball, the other receiver, or who's throwing to him. So you can't even use that excuse.
That's the point. The point that you just said. No matter who's throwing to him, name one of his quarterbacks besides Jay Cutler. You can't. And Jay Cutler, the only reason we know him is because he's garbage. But what a lot of people don't realize, when Jay Cutler, when they thought he was good and he made All-Pro, he was doing the Johnny Manziel in college. And when I refer to Johnny Manziel in college, some people might get offended because they think he was a really good college quarterback.
Not here.
Johnny Manziel had 2 6'5" receivers playing against 5'8" cornerbacks. All he was doing was throwing the ball up.
Literally.
Jay Cutler in Denver was throwing the ball up, and guess who was catching it?
Brandon Marshall.
When he was in Chicago, he didn't have receivers. He couldn't get nothing done. When he finally got that receiver, Brandon Marshall, guess what he did? He stared at Brandon Marshall like the hot girl in the club and threw the ball only to Brandon Marshall, and Brandon Marshall made him look great.
He said, drinks are on me.
Cutler is garbage. Huh?
He said, drinks are on me.
Pretty much. Brandon Marshall is great. And he always was great, and he always will
be great.
Now,
yep.
Yeah, the one thing about him, though, is, and you got to, I give props where props is due. God made him a football player. So, he has God-given talent, and that's what it was. Some people work for it. Walter Payton worked for it. LaDainian Tomlinson worked for it. Brandon works hard, but being 6'5" doesn't hurt you.
6'5" and extremely athletic and gifted.
Right. Gifted. That's the point I'm making. He has that God-given ability, So, but Cutler, if you take him out of the equation, Chicago would still be able to function. If you take Brandon Marshall out of the equation, you see where we're at, 2-4. And we're number 30 or 31 in the league for passing. And, we're just horrible. We're horrible. But in a few years, with the Fangio defense being built, in the mold of John Fox and Vic Fangio, and the offense being able to run efficiently, like the one good part about Cutler to me is he's not a game manager. He's a quarterback. You know, he's not a good quarterback, but he's a quarterback. So if we could hold opponents from scoring 13 points, and he should be able to get us, 10 points on the board. And then if we somehow get back to the Lovey era, where we could score on defense at least 3 to 7 points, and where we could score on special teams 3 to 7 points, we'd be good. That, to be honest, I think the Bears wouldn't be 2-4 if we had a good special teams. We'd be, I'd venture to say 4-2, and I say that because our special teams, we never have good field position. We don't have a returner anymore, and that's bad. Poor decision making by the coaches putting number 80 back there. I don't even know his name, but he's garbage. He's horrible. He doesn't return any kickoffs that go into the end zone, not one. I don't know the stats, but I can guarantee that 95% of our kickoffs that hit the end zone, he doesn't return them. I watch every game. I got DirecTV. I watch every game. I only watch the Bears. I pay $300 a year just to watch the Bears.
That's dedication right there.
What'd you say?
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, and knowing that they're going to be 4-12, I still pay $300. So it is what it is, though. I like the Lovey era strictly because I'm a defensive-minded guy. So I like when we had a great defense. I like when in the Lovey era we had the best special teams, hands down. I like that too because a lot of people forget about that facet of the game.
I think that got him to the Super Bowl as well. Having all aspects.
Yeah. Exactly. We lost the game about 4 or 5 years ago to Atlanta in the last 30 seconds. And a lot of people will say, because of the rule changes where, the clock stops now and then and this, that, and the other. The real deal behind when we lost the game to Atlanta, they returned the ball to like the 40-something yard line. What's his name? Threw it for 130-yard gain, and then they kicked a 40-yard field goal to beat us. But it was because of that special teams return that they beat us. That's the reality in my eyes,
And you're right.
Chicago really needs to work on their special teams. And the other part is they got to just, be given the time to build a John Fox team.
I have a question, though, with what you said. I said, when you say you have to build a John Fox team, now, Matt Forte is basically a lot of the Bears' offense. That has to be probably one of the best draft picks that Lovie Smith has probably ever done, was pick up Matt Forte, a running back out of Tulane. I don't think anybody was even on anybody's radar in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. Right. With that being said, he's coming into his final year in his contract. I think along with Alshon Jeffries as well. There's been speculations of trade talks of both players, like you said with the Jared Allens. Do you implode the team, and maybe when you come up to Week 8, the final week of the year, final week of the trade deadline, I said, and trade away these players and get picks or players that are in your system to follow up for the following, or do you re-sign these players? What do you think about that?
That's a tough one there. I'm biased towards Matt Forte. He's the second leading rusher in Chicago Bears history. He's also the second leading yards from scrimmage in Chicago Bears history. I think he's in top 5 in scoring as well. I can't give that stat. What was it called? I think it's Robbie Gould, then Kevin Butler, and then Walter Payton, and then it may be Matt Forte. I can't recall. But the reality is no one has used him the way that he should be used, and I believe that Adam Gase's offense could utilize him. But the difference between Adam Gase's offense in Denver and here in Chicago, and this is my true opinion of it, and, I don't believe that Peyton Manning is the top quarterback. I believe he's a very good quarterback, and when I say very good, he might be top 10 overall once he's done and said, but to me, if he's there, he's at number 10. So, with that said, they got an all-pro receiver. They had another all-pro receiver. They had multiple good running backs, and they utilized the system the right way. Peyton Manning is probably the most cerebral quarterback of all time, and that's what allows them to run when they should run, that allows them to pass when they should pass, and that's what made that offense great. Jay Cutler is a gunslinger who doesn't know, how to decipher defenses truthfully, and that's a big issue. Even when we had, two All-Pros on the offensive line, and we had the same offensive line start all 16 games, Jay Cutler didn't perform up to par. When they were hurt, he didn't perform up to par because he was always sacked. But, that's also a thing of keeping defenses honest and passing to the right people. So, getting back to the question is this. I believe you keep Matt Forte. I believe if you can unload Jay Cutler's salary, which no one really wants him, that's the issue. No one wants that salary. No one wants him. So you have to keep him, and that's where the issue comes in, because you can't pay Forte and him unless Forte is willing to go at a certain level. And Forte is an elite bat. So regardless if he's 30 or not, he's still going to perform in my eyes. Plus, he's probably, one of the top 5 well-conditioned athletes in the NFL.
I want to piggyback.
Alshon Jeffrey.
I want to piggyback on what you said earlier. To conclude your stats, what you said about Matt Forte, he currently ranks 2nd in team history in rushing yards, 5th in touchdowns, 7th in yards per attempt, and among those with 400 yards, 400 carries. So you were correct. He's in up there with Walter Payton and Gale Sayers, and in a running back you haven't heard a name in a while, Thomas Jones.
I thought it would have been Neil Anderson, but it's Thomas Jones. That's a flashback.
Yep.
All right. So as far as Alshon Jeffrey, though, I'm biased, and this, I played at Clemson a year, and he's a South Carolina product, and I don't think Alshon Jeffrey will ever be at his full potential.
Not without a Batman. I think he's a Robin.
Yes, and his Batman is in New York right now. And his Batman was actually teaching him how to become a Batman, but they moved him out before he could teach him fully. And Alshon Jeffrey doesn't know how to eat right. He doesn't know how to train right. He doesn't know how to NFL football get ready type. And I may have said that the wrong way, or what I should have said was get ready for an NFL football season. He's not that type of person. He's a dude that he was 6'5" and 200 pounds while everybody was 5'4", 130 pounds, so he dominated. At South Carolina, he was really good. And what was bad about that, he didn't practice. He didn't care. If he would have worked hard, he would have been a top pick. When I say top pick, I mean top 5. He has that type of ability, but he'll never show it. And I believe they made the wrong move by getting rid of Brandon Marshall, keeping Alshon Jeffrey, keeping Jay Cutler. And that's my opinion. I would say trade Jeffrey because Marcus Wilson is actually doing a great job. His issue last year was that he was injured. He's doing a great job this year. The problem with getting rid of Jeffrey was they were trying to make him number 1. And you would basically be getting rid of a number 1 receiver for, guys that are all B-, C+ receivers. And you still need that A receiver. Brandon Marshall may not have been A+, but he definitely was a strong A, and he wasn't an A-.
Absolutely.
Alshon Jeffrey, he's more of a C that could be a B+.
So what do you think about Kevin White?
Huh?
So what do you think about your first-round pick, Kevin White?
My brother is excited about him. My dad is excited about him. I believe he had 1 year at West Virginia. And he played at Lackawanna, and they said he did great. But to be honest, I know a bunch of guys that played at Lackawanna and Montgomery College and places like that are football warehouses. But they didn't go on to become anything. So, who's to say he's going to be really good? If you ask me, I would have got rid of Alshon Jeffrey, brought in White, and let White learn from Brandon Marshall. But, that's hindsight, or that's, one fan
right. It's your opinion, and you're entitled to.
Yeah. I don't believe that White will be what he was at West Virginia.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and I really don't believe he was really that good at West Virginia. I think he piled his stats in the, garbage games. He did well in that one game. I think it was Oklahoma. I think he did well in that game, but the whole team was horrible. So be it. I don't think he's an elite NFL receiver.
So you're saying a C?
I believe. Huh?
Saying a C receiver?
Yeah, honestly, I think Marcus Wilson and the other guys will still beat him out. Number 19, I can't remember his name, but he's been in the league a while.
Talking about Eddie Royal?
Yeah. The only reason that I believe they'll keep White the way they'll keep him is because they drafted him in the first round. The same way that they'll keep Jeffrey because they drafted him, I think he was a second round, or I can't remember when Jeffrey was drafted. He might have been a fourth rounder, but because of his size, they're looking to get those big receivers like most teams are nowadays. Mm-hmm. But I don't think, like I said with Jeffrey, he was hurt because he doesn't know how to eat. He doesn't know how to take care of his body. Call me funny, but I'm on Instagram and I'm looking at Brandon Marshall. He's eating right. He's with his wife. He's showing love. He's doing work for the disease that he has. I seen Kevin White on there and he's running all over doing appearances, and then he gets hurt. What that tells me is he's not eating right. He's not working out right. He's letting the fame get to him. Right. And he has a nice little girlfriend. She's a looker, so he's probably tearing that thing up every night and not getting the rest that he needs.
Yep. So next he'll be pulling his groin.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you gave a lot of good points on the Bears. I think more than what a lot of people would have expected. But then again, I told you guys this man has a lot of football knowledge. I'd say he was an ex-teammate of mine, but Sam has a lot of knowledge about some football stuff. Definitely when it comes to his Bears. What do you think about that? Can't spend too much time. We got to get to the picks. I'll just run through these pretty quick. What do you think about Pittsburgh continuing to win with Michael Vick or whoever at quarterback now, and James Harrison still able to play at the level he's playing? What is he, 38?
Yeah, he's old. I don't know if he's that old, but he's old as hell. Pittsburgh is a team, and everybody talked about their defensive backfield sucking and that they were going to be horrible, but they're a team. And what's the best help to a D-back? The D-line. The front seven, they make a D backfield. You look at the great D-backs right now in the league, other than Joe Hayden, and I believe Joe Hayden has a good defensive line, but, Patrick Peterson, his front seven is awesome. Darrell Revis, he's a really good D-back. He might be top 10 of all time, but they normally run a scheme, and when he played for the Jets, playing for the Jets now, great D-line. If you don't give the quarterback time to pass and the quarterback is just throwing to an area, a D-back will eat that up,
Absolutely.
And Pittsburgh, they always have a great front seven. During their really good years, they have a great D backfield as well, And just because you never heard of these guys doesn't mean that they're not pros. They're professionals. They beat out other professionals, so there's a reason they're out there. But the team overall is just a great team. A lot of people don't know that last year they were one of the top 5 offenses in the NFL, and they lost their starting quarterback, even though they do got a Mike Vick, but their scheme is so intricate that Mike Vick they do vanilla calls for him. They're not running the true offense in Pittsburgh, but they can still win because Mike Vick is a certified starter in the league. If you put him on any other team, he's still doing really good if they let him be Mike Vick. And everybody knows what I'm saying, He's not the same Mike Vick. They got him in the pocket. Mm-hmm. When he creates, that's when he becomes Mike Vick.
It gets hurt a lot too when he does that.
Yeah.
What in one word, how would you describe? I know this is an NFL, but I just want to see what you say. Michigan and Michigan State game In one word, how would you describe that?
Heartbreak.
That's a good one.
I
thought you.
Okay, let me give you another one.
I thought you would have went with special. I thought you would have went with special teams.
My word is idiotic. It was bad coaching, even though he's a great coach. I can't remember the exact timing and timeouts, but I know it was 9 seconds.
Yep.
You telling me that punter couldn't run around for 3 or 4 seconds? But honestly,
mind you,
the real deal with that call was it would have been a good call. The punter just blatantly dropped the ball. He blatantly dropped it. Now, if he was smart and coached right, he would have known, let me just jump on the ball.
Just jump on the ball. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
No timeouts. All he had to do was jump on it. That's it.
They had no timeouts and nothing. Now, the clock would have stopped on a change of possession, but you're talking about it was 9 seconds when he caught the ball, so they would have, blew the whistle at 5 seconds. They would have had 5 seconds to do a Hail Mary. What's the percentages of Hail Mary working?
Unless you're the Seattle Seahawks, but we won't go there.
Right. Or Arizona State against USC last year.
Or the Texans versus the Colts halftime.
Right. Halftime, because that's the same dude that caught it for USC.
Yes, it was.
For Arizona.
Strong. There's two teams that were kind of underperforming, but now they've gone on a little win streak. Talking about the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. If you had to pick a quarterback right now to ride through the rest of the season, who would it be? Sam Bradford or Colin Kaepernick?
Me, I'm going to go with Kaepernick. Everybody talks about how Sam Bradford, he has that pure throw. I've never seen it in him. Even at
Oklahoma?
At Oklahoma, I didn't see it. He had a great running back at Oklahoma, the second or third best running back to ever come out of that school. DeMarco Murray? Yeah. In my opinion, behind AP and the greatest that never was.
Yeah.
Marcus Dupree.
Oh Lord.
But
yes. Wow, that's a throwback, boy.
But on a real, I would go with Kaepernick because of his upside. Now, Kaepernick does do some bad decision making, but we're talking about being coached properly. When he had the right coach, he was making the right decisions. He was doing the right thing. I think he fell into the hype of himself, like everybody saying, "Oh, Kaepernick." If Kaepernick just played football, he'd be fine. To me, Sam Bradford, we'll say let's ride out with Sam Bradford, and in practice today he'll pull his ACL.
Which is a possibility.
Right. So I would never choose an oft-injured player as someone I ride out with. You know what I mean?
I used to call him and Matt Stafford Mr. Glass from the movie with Bruce Willis, Mr. Glass.
Exactly. And then the other thing with him is he's in a system that I don't like the system. I don't like the system for him, and I don't like the system at all. I like the system when it was at Oregon when they played against lower tier D1 schools, but when they play against athletes that could match them and D1 schools like USC and Washington and all them, the system doesn't work. They got NFL prototype players.
Yep. All right, that's good with that. Then let's get to the main part of today. We're going to go through your picks. First team is away. Second team, I say, is home. Seattle at San Francisco Thursday night. Who do you got?
Seattle.
I said Buffalo at Jacksonville. Who do you got?
Buffalo.
Minnesota at Detroit. Who you got?
Oh, shit. That's a tough one there, but I'm going to have to go with Detroit on that one.
Interesting. Said New Orleans at Indianapolis.
Oh. You said New Orleans at Indianapolis?
Yep, at Indy.
I'm going to go with Indy in that one.
Go for the home team. It's not a bad pick. Pittsburgh at Kansas City.
Pittsburgh.
I think Landry Jones might be playing this game. Houston at Miami. Miami got that big win last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Houston just because I like Houston, and it's got to click for them eventually.
So you gonna ride with Houston on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to get a win somehow, some way soon.
Yeah, it's got to click eventually.
New York Jets at New England. Ooh, this is a good one.
Because they're playing in New England, and because Tom Brady got a hard on right now, I'm going with New England. Now, my heart, who I want to win is New York.
I'm with you, brother. Everybody on here knows how I feel about New England. Cleveland at St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis, D-line is too tough.
Cleveland's got a good D. It should be a defense. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I don't think it'll be too many points. Atlanta at Tennessee.
I'm going with Atlanta. Isn't Marcus Mariota hurt?
Yes, but Zach Mettenberger's now's his time to prove he's NFL worthy. I'm interested to see this one.
Yeah, but she's not really that good.
I like how you said she. Pay him no mind, Mettenberger. If you see or hear this, he needs help. That's at Tampa Bay at Washington. Y'all know why.
You'll be upset with me, but I'm going with Washington.
That's fine with me.
Better at home.
That's fine with me. I'm used to being the underdog. That's at Oakland at San Diego.
Let's go with San Diego on that one.
It's about to say Antonio Gates is back. Phillip Rivers, his main horse.
Yeah.
Dallas at New York Giants. Division game in the worst division in football right now.
Didn't they already play this season, and didn't Dallas beat them real bad? No, or was that the Eagles in Dallas? I can't remember
Dallas,
what it was. I'm still going.
Dallas beat the Eagles. Yes, Dallas beat the Eagles.
With the Giants.
He's going with Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Philadelphia at Carolina.
Carolina.
And last but not least, Monday night, Baltimore at Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, I think they come back after that tough loss with Carson Palmer throwing that pick at the last minute. Kind of ruined my pick, Carson. I had picked you guys, but you blew it.
Huh?
And I was talking to Carson Palmer. Said he blew that game for me, throwing that pick in the end zone. Seeing how you're the only successful Heisman Trophy quarterback right now, holding it down. He is, Sam, with last Heisman Trophy quarterback.
That's true. That's true.
Again, if y'all don't believe me, look it up yourselves. Well, Sam, I'm glad.
I'll tell you what. Before you send me off, I can guarantee this. I can guarantee the Bears won't lose this week.
You got that right. They're gonna be 1-0 this week. You's a fool, man. But thank you, Sam, for your time. I'll get at you later. Appreciate you coming through and blessing everybody on the show.
No doubt. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Take it easy, brother.
I'll holler at you.
Well, we spent too much time as it was. Got a lot of good insight. Hopefully my battery don't go dead on the camera. Nah, it should be good. I got one bar. But I've got nothing much else. He did all the talking. I just sat here and looked pretty. As always, we'll end it as we always do. You're the master of everything you do. What you do with is up to you. Y'all take care. Oh, and make sure you get my cousin's po' boy sandwiches. They the best. Matter of fact, pass that over here, homie. Oh yeah, that thing's gone. Well, tune in next time. I'll give you a picture or something, or show you something up there like that. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah, yeah. Riding with Skeet, Mellow, and Flacco. Ain't got no beef, but we got cheese and lettuce like a taco. What you talking about? I got my city on lock, ho, and I always keep the peace. I never gotta keep that Glock, bro. Tampa Bay Buccaneer, check the red and pewter. Yeah, the girls with you are mighty fine, the ones with me are cuter. Swagger to the max, mind faster than computers. See, we get the signal clear, the flashing lights can never fool us. Call me Young Hammy, I'm about to go ham. When it comes to Tampa, I'm the definition of the man. Always let me speak my mind, but never listen to my plans. Some sometimes it made me doubt I'll never miss a step again. Confidence is great, but humility is greater. Being humble is what lets me show civility to haters. It lets me see the real ones from the fakers. Guess it turned me into Kobe, Wonder Corp, we are the Lakers. Going for the championship, you'd be appalled at the amount of women waiting for their chance to get hit. It's some cancerous shit. I jumped off the wheel, they let me out the cage, now I go hamster a bit. Yeah, hometown hero status, cause my flows they be the tightest and my women are the baddest. Skate park of Tampa kids tell me I'm the raddest. Born a soccer player, I used to kick it at Ed Radis or Schimberg. Got cheese like Limburger, I'm a lyrical assassin, I spit and begin murder. I love my mother, I know that my sins hurt her, so I live a righteous life and only listen to the word of the Most High. He made me so fly, boy, I'm colder than the winter, you could call me Snow Guy. Shout to Key, I hit the booth and go live. If they tell you I'm the sickest, my nigga, it's no jive. I need a doctor. See, I'm fly without a plane and I don't need no helicopter. I'm not an actor. When it comes to my success, speaking the truth's the biggest factor. You're just a poser. Yeah, you're just a relief pitcher, I'm the closer. I am Tampa. Yeah, I am Tampa.